Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to Soul Guidance with Adriana. I'm Adriana. I'm a transformational life coach and abundance consultant. I have an intuitive message for you today, and we're going to start with this amazing animal oracle card. This is Tiger, and the little keyword on here is will. This card is asking you, Scorpio, to be very fierce and protective of what is important to you. Okay. There's a lot of yellow on this card, leading me to think about perhaps we're talking about personal power specifically for you. Are you protecting it, and are you really acting out of it, making sure that that personal power is intact? Tigers tend to be solitary creatures. They're not like lions who are in a pack, if that's the right word, a pack of lions. I don't think that's right. But anyway, they come together to mate and then they go their separate ways. So the tiger is not afraid to stand alone. All right, to protect what is important to yourself, sometimes you have to stand alone. And this tiger energy helps you not be afraid to do that. Okay, we're going to start the week. Your first card is the Tower. And my guides are saying that this Tower is talking about the internal world as well as the external world. Okay, so we're talking about lots of things feeling like they're breaking apart, breaking down and crumbling. And I do want to clarify exactly what they're talking about. With the Tower, it's always a tricky card for me. So I'm actually going to pull another animal card for you. Okay, we're looking at Meerkat, which is responsibility. And the meerkat is a communal animal, but the message here is to make sure that both sides are upholding the bargain. Both sides are meeting each other where you agreed to meet each other. So what I feel the Tower energy is going to do for you is it's going to pull apart relationships that are unequal. It's going to really challenge situations that are unequal. So if you are being taken advantage of, or you are taking advantage of someone, the light is going to shine and the foundations are going to quake, and you're going to be challenged to resolve this and heal this. In your relationships, especially your relationships with yourself, I feel like this energy can really challenge, again, that energy of personal power, that chakra of personal power. Are you really protecting yourself enough? Are you giving yourself enough credit? Are you standing in your strength with an awareness of exactly where you are? Now, strength asks us to be honest, right? Everyone has a weakness. Everyone has a weak point. Every weapon has a weak point, right? And part of strength is recognizing that. Where are your weak points? Where are the places that you need to protect yourself a bit more? Strength isn't about, I'm stronger than everyone else, or I can take care of this, or I can do all of this. Strength is really about understanding limitations. And there's nothing wrong with limitations, because limitations actually lead to freedom. No limitations at all means that you can never be free. It's a paradox, and I could turn this into a 30-minute video on that, but limitations are not a bad thing. Okay, so I feel like this Tower might be also kind of bugging you to look at where you've been fighting limitations, rather than looking at how you can constructively either transform or uplift or shift energy. Where have you just been hitting your head into the wall and trying to fight with what is, trying to argue with reality? Okay. Interesting message coming through. All right, where are you headed? We're headed to strength. Okay. Strength, a time to show your true power, a time to rise above. rise above limitations, but we can't rise above them unless we admit them. All right. Yeah, this is interesting. I'm not sure where Saturn is, but if you've got an active Saturn or Saturn kind of doing funny things with your chart this week, I'm feeling like this message is especially for you, because when we're thinking of limitations, we're thinking of Saturn, but Saturn is also a teacher. And limitations are teaching us something. So when you feel you're limited, what is it that you're supposed to be learning? And that awareness is going to give you a different kind of strength. The strength here is not how many sword fights can you win, or how fast can you run, or how many arguments do you have the stamina for. This is about understanding your strength through limitation. Okay, now to give you a lighter example, I am also a pianist and a piano teacher, and some of my students like to learn how to improvise. And when you teach someone how to improvise, you don't want to just kind of say, okay, go at it. You know, here's the whole piano and do whatever you want. There are very few people that can handle that kind of freedom, because those kind of people actually internalize what I'm going to describe to you next. People need some kind of confine or some kind of limitation to feel freedom. So if I say, for instance, to my smaller students, I say, okay, you can play the black keys, whatever order, however many times, however you like, but you can only play the black keys. They get so excited. They don't care that they can't play the white keys, because they've suddenly got this freedom to play the black keys. So that little bit of limitation allows creativity to flourish. It allows growth to happen. And that's the important thing to realize, Scorpio, is that limitation can provide growth. We think of limitation as cutting off your growth, but actually for you this week, this is about exploring, how does limitation help me grow? All right, let's look at some energy coming in. 10 of Cups, that's nice. All right, a contentedness, a bliss, a being at peace emotionally with where you are. Once you recognize what all of this limitation and strength means, then you have the opportunity for more blessings to come in. 10 of Cups is a really nice indication. So if you had to let go of any partnerships that were unequal, 10 of Cups brings in something to equal it out. If you had to let go of any relationships, 10 of Cups kind of comes to level the playing field. 10 of Cups is also reminding you, I think it's tied to this card, our clarification of the Tower, that everything has its place. Everything has its place. Everything in your world has its place and has its function and meaning and purpose, even if it doesn't seem like it, even if it's seen as trivial. But everything has a deep meaning and a deep place. And what this means, again, is that you don't have to fight what is in your world, because everything is placed there not randomly, but in an organized way. These are not chaotic and spilling and falling. They're all upright. They're not in a perfect straight line, but they're all there. You know, they all belong. Everything belongs right now. Okay, let's get our final message. Lovely Ace of Wands after all of our chaos of the Tower. This is about a new start, okay? And I think when you take the time to really sit with your limitations, you're going to see that it has actually given you a chance to rebirth yourself. You're going to see that it gives you more chance to grow than if the limitation were gone. And you know, when you get to that place, all you can feel is grateful for the process. But I do see that all of this whole process gives you, not only gives you a vitality, but perhaps it gives you the assurance that you are on a new beginning. You are on a new start. You are in a place where everything is being created new for you. The fight, any fight you're putting up is not any fight you're putting up against the circumstance is really not created by the circumstance. It is created by you. But I also want to tie this back to our animal, our tiger, our will. And you notice how these cards have very similar colors, and they're even kind of similarly, if I did this. No, actually, if we say like this, because we've got this opening created here, but one is rising up and one is going across. So this is about being flexible with where you are exerting your will, where you are exerting your power. It may not always be in this direction. It may be sometimes in this direction. It may be behind the scenes. It may be in front of the scenes. It may be where everyone can see you. It may be where no one can see you. But be flexible with how you're exerting your will. Because in every circumstance where you exert your will within a limitation, you grow just a little bit more. You grow just a little bit more until the next time when you realize that all along the limitations have actually been a foundation for you. Okay. Okay, Scorpio. Wow, that was a very intense one. Thank you so, so much for joining me and sharing your time and energy. It's also always lovely to hear from you in the comments if you feel so compelled. And I wish you many abundant blessings for your week ahead. Have a good one, and I'll see you next time right here.